Well, what is up, Crazy X? Welcome to the Crazy Studios and Paranormal Tuesday. Today, I figured I'd talk about my second excursion um, to Waverly Hills. This one, I rented a car, so I was able to kind of drive around and check out more of the city. One of the first places I went to was the zoo. Check that out again. Uh, it's a huge zoo, really nice, great place to visit. And then I got to thinking, last time I was here, I checked out Colonel Sanders' gravesite. This is Kentucky. There's a place out here, I believe, called Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, did Kentucky Fried Chicken start in Louisville? I mean, it started in Kentucky, and I have a rental car. Maybe the original KFC might not be too far from where I'm at. So I go down to the front desk and I ask the hotel clerk, I'm like, so I was just wondering, is the original Kentucky Fried Chicken, is that in this area? Is there like a museum or something I could check out? She kind of stares at me. And I love her response. Darling, I didn't understand a single word you said. You talk too fast. So I kind of had to space it out. Um, Yeah, I don't really think I talk that fast. I mean, do you guys think I talk too fast? I mean, I try to control. I don't think I really like. I mean, I don't think I talk too fast. I mean, I'm not like the micro machine guy. You remember the guy who sold the micro machines, those little cars? He was also on Saved by the Bell, and he was the guy that would. I mean, I think he kind of talked a little bit fast, but I don't think I talk that fast. What do you guys think? But yeah, that was kind of funny. But yeah, she didn't know about it. She's like, I don't think there's anything like that out here. So that was a no go. Uh, Next place I went to was Churchill Downs. It was kind of funny. I was actually on the phone with a buddy when I was at there, and as I'm walking around, all of a sudden you hear I was going to try to do it, but I can't even think of the notes. But the trumpet. It's. I mean, the Kentucky Derby was like the week before I was down there. Looks like I was down there in May of 2008. I think the KFC, I think the KFC Derby, the Kentucky Fried Derby was right before. No, the Kentucky Derby I think was like the week before I was down there. So I wasn't there for the Kentucky Derby. But how much do you want to bet that that's the same horn that plays? I mean, nowadays, I mean, it could have even been then. I mean, it may have actually been a button that they press that does it. It might not actually be a trumpet player, but still, it was like that's the Kentucky Derby horn that's playing. So I mean, I thought that was kind of cool, and I got to watch a couple of the races and stuff like that. And it was funny because right before I left, I had gone back there. Race day, I gotta go. I gotta walk in there, see things live. I went there a couple days later, and there was no races, so the actual horse track was closed, but they had a museum that you could pay to go to. I mean, for me, I kind of thought that was funny. I could see history, like I can see the thing happen in front of my eyes, real life. I could see real life live for free, or I could pay to watch stuff that happened in the past. I never even thought about that, but that's almost like a life lesson right there. You can live your life for free. You can move forward for free and see things as they happen now. Free. Or you can pay to revisit the past. So it's going to cost you money to go back, or free to go forward. Hey? Sometimes you get little nuggets of wisdom out of me. But yeah, so it's going to go to watch a couple of the races and to hear the horns and, to kind of see in person those fancy hats and everything. From there, it was the main event. Kind of the main event in the middle. Why put the main event at the end? You ever notice that? I mean, especially it's kind of funny in wrestling because wrestling you have. I mean, let's be honest. There's more control over that. Um, you can kind of. I don't know how it happens. It's almost magical. Like a pay-per-view is scheduled for 3 hours, and there's like 35 minutes left. And that main event seems like it always will go that 35 minutes. I don't know how they kind of like foresee the future and use that ESP to figure out that this match is going to last exactly 35 minutes. But then you have boxing, and like your main event might be 9 seconds. It could be 30 seconds, you know. Uh, but yeah, what main event's always in the end, which might not like you got to have something to fill that rest of the time, don't you? So our main event's in the middle, so we could fill it out with other stuff for the rest of the time. But so I pull up to Waverly Hills, and Waverly Hills is kind of funny because it's located like in the middle of a golf course. Like you're talking about one of the most haunted places in the U.S. And you've got to drive through a nice, lavish golf course. Like you're kind of like, am I in the right place? Like surely there's not this terrifying haunted attraction in the middle of a country club. But as we pull up there, I guess there was like a scheduling confusion. So like when we pulled up, they're like, "Yeah, we don't have you scheduled to come until later." And it's like, okay, so what are we supposed to do in the meantime? Well, like we're not ready for you guys, so you're not coming in here. So I just kind of sat in the car, and the guy who kind of set up everything pulled up. And he's like, "No, we scheduled it for this time," and like they kind of went back and forth, not like not that type of back and forth, but they just friendly talk. No, I could have sworn we have this scheduled. Well, we have it for this. Yeah, but I don't know what happened there. But we've got guys that are showing up right now. So then they ended up letting us in. I felt bad for anyone that may have shown up earlier that got turned away. But thankfully that worked out. That worked out for me. So we pulled up, kind of talked with people, and we were able to go in there and do the investigation. I had actually talked to Tina and showed her those pictures from before, and yeah, she's like, "I'm the only female here, and I never go up there." If you don't know what I'm talking about, I captured this picture, and you can see like this woman like leaning over a banister on top of like the elevator shaft, which there is a way up there. The stairs are sketchy as heck, and it's blocked for visitors. So like really only staff are the only people that can go up there. But yeah, Tina's like, I'm the only one that's got access up. Like our staff's the only one here, and I'm the only female on the staff, and I don't go up there. So I got to show her the pictures and talk to her a little bit about that. What all happened on this one? Since there was a little bit of the confusion with the being there, I was also a little confused of like how long we could stay there. And throughout the night, like many people just kind of left early. I don't know what all happened there. So as it got later, there's less and less people in there. At one point, I was walking with a couple girls that I met down there and the promoter. And we're just walking around, just kind of chatting and everything. And we heard the PA system. Like where you could hear like the voice, and it was like very metallic sounding. It's just like the old PA system was making an announcement. But we're like, this place has been shut down for decades. Like, surely that can't be. So we walked around and we found like the gut of where the PA system used to be, and it's gutted. Like the machine's not even there. So we're a little more confused now at this point. Like, well, I mean, obviously this is like extremely, paranormal. It's extremely above normal for the PA system to be going off when it's gutted, and I would kind of put it almost into like a residual type haunting, since I mean, I mean, it could be an intelligent haunting too, but you know, residual just kind of means like it just happens like it did in the past. It doesn't really interact with you. It almost doesn't even know that you're there. But of course, I'm more of the person that wants to disprove hauntings, because if I can disprove it, well, it's not real. It's debunked. But if I can't disprove it, it's definitely falls into that paranormal situation. So we all kind of like, okay, well, we started looking at different things and investigating it further. And unfortunately, we noticed that when we leaned over, we could hear voices coming from downstairs. So it was the voices carrying through the pipes, gave it that old kind of sound to them, and it was creating like an echo. So it was debunked. But I mean, that's the thing, is like, that's why you have to almost try to debunk stuff, because I mean, if you try to debunk it and you can't, I mean, if you can, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of cool. You still get the rush, but it's good to have the explanation and like, yeah, this is actually what's going on. And I mean, especially when you're doing this for people, you put them at ease. It's like, well, not really this, it's that. So that was a cool experience, especially going through the whole process and finding out what was really going on. The other thing that happened to me was I'm up on the fifth floor. It's the end of the night. I mean, it's like daylight almost. Like the sun's already rose. Like it's like about, I think it's just before 6 a.m. I'm up on the roof walking around, and I'm like, I don't really know how late we're supposed to be here. I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want to give a bad light to our host or anything. So I'm like, yeah, I should probably wrap up. So as I'm turned around and I start walking towards the stairwell, I could hear a table getting dragged behind me. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. I mean, it's like that, like, it's scraping. Like, if it sounded like almost like they had like the two legs pulled up and you had like the two legs on the floor where it's doing that scraping, the bounce type noise. Like you could hear that. So I go out back to that room. No one's in that room. I go out on the roof. No one's on the roof. There's no table. I clearly heard a table getting drugged, but there's no one there. I ran out on the roof to look to see if someone's up there. Maybe someone's hiding, someone doing something. There's no one on the roof. There's one room in the roof. So that was a kind of a neat experience there. And I can't debunk it because there was no table. Like what was getting drugged? Hopefully it wasn't a body. Um, yeah, I mean, Waverly Hills is a cool place. If you ever get the chance, Louisville, Kentucky, I definitely would check it out. Really, really cool. I know actually, was it OVW, Ohio? Not Ohio. Is it OVW? It's the one that's out of Louisville that's ran by Al Snow. Uh, but they're actually going to be doing a investigation. I think they already did the investigation out there, so that was kind of cool. But from there, like I said, I had a rental car, so it was kind of cool because I was able to check out some other places. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Elizabethtown, but it's about a guy from Portland, Oregon, and he goes out to Louisville, Kentucky. Well, I'm from Salem, Oregon. I got to fly out of PDX. I got to fly out of Portland, so I'm kind of out of Portland that way. So I was kind of going out there, and I had bought the movie, but I had ended up losing the disc, so I did buy I think it was like it wasn't Sam Goodies. I think it was at Sam Goodies. I bought the Elizabethtown in Elizabethtown, and we got that receipt like tucked behind it. That's kind of cool. Um, I think they had a KFC out there. I had that KFC, and then I went over to Hodgenville, Kentucky, birth site of Abraham Lincoln. Visited a couple of his childhood replica log cabins. I think some of them were from that time, and then moved to the site. And then they had the one from his birthplace. Well, I mean, he was born out there, So they have like this huge memorial that you can go to, and it's got like a cabin similar to what he would have been born in on the site where he was born. So that was cool to check out. Went to the Louisville Slugger Museum. Really cool to check out. Purchased a mini bat. I don't know, yeah, just it's not a full size bat, but yeah, I got that and got the Kid Crazy signature in there. That was really cool. And then I also got to do a ghost walk, and it's funny. Actually, have one of the images, so you know what that means. So this is a hotel that I visited out there, and if you look here, almost looks like the outline of a shoulder, doesn't it? Completely transparent, you can see through it. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. Just doing a ghost walk and getting some evidence there too. All right. Well, that is today's episode. Thank you so much for checking us out. If you haven't had the chance already, please do like this video. Subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. Also, too, I've got it posted on my Kid Crazy Facebook. So you can follow me at Real Kid Crazy, Crazy with a K. I recently, well, about a year ago, I filmed an episode of Pawn Stars, and it just aired Saturday. So I do have that link on my Facebook page. You can also go to YouTube, type in Pawn Stars, and it's I think it's like super rare Game Boy, something like that. But it's a picture of a Game Boy. So check that out. And as always, thank you for watching our video. Stay crazy, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.